Yo, what up, y'all? Picture me rolling. What's today? Tuesday? So it doesn't matter how many times I do a video or a talk on this. The majority of my videos are on this because I know it's what most people struggle with. But some people, no matter how much information is out there that's easily accessible, need to just hear it over and over and over again. Alright, so here is what I'm going to title the obligatory diet post. Alright, and I'm reluctant to call it diet because until you accept some form of nutrition as your lifestyle, your results are going to be up and down or temporary. All right. So here are my key points for the obligatory diet post. All right, because that's what most of y'all call it anyway. The ones who haven't accepted the fact that it is part of your lifestyle, which is your nutrition. This is how I eat. It's not a diet. This is how I eat. Period. All right. And I'm going to use some fairly strong words, because I get annoyed by people who continue to ask me for stuff and won't implement stuff that I already gave them to utilize in their own personal diets. Alright? So, number one is, you have to try. Alright? And we'll fill in some of the blanks later. But you have to actually try your best to eat properly. Alright? You've got to put in the effort. You got to do your homework. Now, part of your homework is studying yourself. All right? You got to study what works for you, because the same stuff does not work for everybody. Cookie cutter, generic stuff doesn't really work for everybody. And there's some general concepts that work for most people. All right? Stuff like, the basics, right? You're not eating candy every day. You're not eating sugary stuff every day. You're not eating out every day. Alright? It's the simple stuff. You're not eating junk food. You're not eating french fries and hamburgers and stuff and out. And if you're not cooking at all, you pretty much fail. Alright? So all of these points are gonna, if you do not do them, you fail. Alright? Especially if you're talking about weight loss. Alright? If you do not do them, you fail. Number one is you've got to try. You've got to put your best foot forward. You may have to meal prep if your job requires it. All right? If your job is one where you're moving around all day and got a lot of stuff going on all the time, you got to grab a bite here and there, you have got to meal prep. If you do not meal prep and you go up in somewhere, a hospital or something, and the cafeteria food isn't sufficient, you walking around eating snacks or eating nothing until you're starving, or you try to starve yourself on 500, 1,000 calories. I'm sorry, that's not enough calories. It's not. So you got to try. You got to do it the right way. All right? If you do not try, you fail. Number two, you've got to eat clean. This is the biggest mistake that most people make. You can't, and number one, you got to get rid of your amnesia. A lot of people forget. I check on people's weight a lot. My people weigh in daily, but we'll get to that. My people weigh in daily, and I'll talk to people. I'll be like, well, how'd you gain 2-3 pounds, over the weekend? And they'll start off with, oh yeah, I did eat out. Oh yeah, and then I ate this cake. Oh yeah, and then I ate these chips, and then I ate too late. And you forget all the stuff that you did to set yourself back. There's a price for that. Alright? And granted, in this aspect, failure is only temporary, because you get rid of that stuff, you get back on track, and you can make your progress. But for that day, week that you set yourself back, you failed. And if you continue to compile it, it's just gonna take that further into the horizon that you got to make up for. All right, so you got to eat clean, and eating out is not eating clean. all right? Because of all the sodium that they put in there, you can't eat out 2 and 3 meals a day and expect to get leaner, to expect to lose weight. It's just not gonna happen. You have got to cook food at home. All right, that is a fundamental. You got to cook food at home. You got to have some type of meal prep planning that has all those things factored into it. They're as close to home prep meals as you can get. There are meal plans out there that are clean that you can eat and lose weight. So look them up. I used to work for them here in the Atlanta area. Good Measure Meals is a good one. There's other ones, but you end up having to cook anyway. So having something completely prepared where all you got to do is heat it up is definitely beneficial. All right. Number 3. All right, you have got to be consistent, especially on the weekends. You don't know how many people I deal with that do great during the week, screw it up on the weekends because they don't do anything. You take a day, you don't do anything, you gain a couple pounds, you just negated a whole week of losing a couple pounds. This is why I say you get on the scale every day so that you can see what is setting you back, and then you can in turn adjust to it. I can, without even being around, tell people what the problem is in terms of their eating habits by just looking at it, just watching the trends of their weight. It's got to be consistent enough where I can see where the problems are coming in. I can see it when you gained a pound or a pound and a half or 2 pounds. I can see when you're setting yourself back on the weekends. Weighing in once a week is a fail. Your plateaus are going to be, you're going to reach them so much sooner because you're not taking detailed enough notes on what you're doing. And it's very simple. Now, I know there are those of you who get discouraged by being on the scale. That's because you set your expectations way too high. And if you ignore it, it's not going to go away. So if you want to lose weight, you got to stare it in the face it down, and get it done. All right? You can't go to the scale every day expecting that, oh, well, I worked out real hard today, I need to lose a pound. Nah, player, it don't work like that. You got to be looking for a couple tenths of a pound. You know what I'm saying? A lot of scales use like tenths of a pound. So you got to be looking for a tenth of a pound. You know, a tenth of a pound over 7 days a week is over a pound a week. So you got to lower your expectations. All right? And that's if you're doing everything right. You're expecting too much when you get on that scale, and when you don't see it, you get discouraged and you quit. That is not how anything is won. You get to your workout, you get tired, you quit. You will fail if at every sign of adversity you're ready to throw in the towel. All right? And I just want to be frank because this is stuff that I deal with on a regular basis. All right? And you know, there are those always looking for something, some other magic thing that's going to resonate with them. No, nutrition is not magic. There's no magic. There's no magic. This is day in, day out grind. Period. Stop looking for something new, some different thing. There's nothing new. There's nothing new. There's food. There's good food that helps you lose weight and get leaner, and then there's bad food that does not help you lose weight and get leaner. All right. Now there are small differences based on our body types and different things that, you know, that may need to be customized by, you know, a professional. But for the most part, you pretty much know what you need to be eating. All right. And so, and then lastly, you know, you've got to put it all together. So you got to keep all the other stuff that goes along with it in check. All right. If you're got all your nutrition right, but you're stressed to the max, you're not going to make progress. You're not getting any sleep. you're not gonna make progress. You're not exercising like you should. You might make some progress based on your diet, but you're not gonna get lean if you ain't lifting no weights. You're not exercising. You expect to just show up with muscle because you ate right? No, doesn't work like that. You gotta put everything together. It's gotta all go together. Get your life in order, put it together. And this is just a frank talk, just straight up. That's how I talk to my clients, because a lot of them, I tell them stuff, and then, stuff kind of goes through their head, or they got some kind of reason why they can or why they didn't, or this, that, and the other, and they go back and look at the scale and they get frustrated. Well, you're frustrated because you haven't done it yet. You have not done the right thing yet. It's not your body's fault. It's your fault. It's up here. You fix this, you'll fix all this up in here. All of it, all up in here. All right? So those are my tips for doing. All right? And if you want like a step-by-step plan of how to put your particular meal plan together, you can look at my other video on building your nutrition program. But tip number 4 or 5, I don't remember even how many I did, is plan for the long haul. All right, this is how you eat going forward. You can't plan for this to be short term. It doesn't work like that. This is not you changing your habits for a little while so that you lose a few pounds. This is you changing your life. You're changing your life. And if you do not accept that, you will never reach your potential. You will never reach your goals, because you're always looking for that escape. Now, that's not to say that you can't eat and have, good food and cheat meals and all that stuff. You can, but you gotta grind first and reach your goals. Then you can, put in some cheat meals. And even as you're going, I'm not saying that you gotta be like, the perfect diet, or, you're never gonna make it. That's not the case. You still have some cheat meals on the way, but based on your exercise regimen and how much it affects you, you may not be able to cheat, on your diet as much as everybody else, or your nutrition, right? So consider some intermittent fasting. It helps with appetite control. And like I said, just put the effort in, put your best foot forward, and do the best that you can, and you will get the results that you're looking for. But number 1 rule is you got to try, man. You got to put the effort in to do it. If you got to meal prep, then meal prep. You got to plan ahead. You can't just go into your week and show up at work talking about, I'm trying to lose weight. You ain't brought no food. You ain't thought about what you're going to eat that day. You can't. It doesn't work like that. You can't do anything when you just show up. When you just show up unprepared. You can't work like that. You show up unprepared. You show up, you ain't did your hair or nothing, and you're a sales rep. You ain't did your hair or nothing, you gonna just show up? No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that with weight loss and fitness either. So put your best foot forward. All right. Find some solid advice on that. I'm here for that. I got all kind of stuff out there. But you got to make use of it. No matter how much talking I do if you're not listening and using it. So anyway, man, that's your accountability talk for today. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I'll catch up with y'all in the next video. Peace out.